I know I have my phone in here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, puppies, kitties, pets of all persuasions, except snakes. We don't do snakes on Thursday nights. That's just one of the rules. I'm sorry. For those of you who haven't seen me before, my name is Ron. I am Ron of Boudoir by Ron O. Hello, Anna. Looks like an Anna dropped in briefly. Haven't seen anybody yet from Facebook. So what I do, if you have not looked at this before, is I come in here on Thursday nights for about 15, 20 minutes, however long I feel I can talk, which tonight, the way my voice is sounding, may not be that long. But I come in here and I talk about topics that have to do with boudoir photography, what challenges you might be facing that keep you from being interested in boudoir photography, and keeping you interested and updated in what's going on at Boudoir by Ron O, which right now is not much. We don't have any big promotions going on. So you're welcome to go there and find out more about what I do. The site address is going to come up here across the bottom in a second. It's boudoirbyrono.com. There it is right there. And yeah, I guess you have to pardon me. I don't know. I need to get some computer glasses. Okay. because in order to really see what's going on the screen, I still do this, even though the screen's like right straight in front of me. Um, I don't know why I do that. Life is a mystery. But anyway, we'll try to make this interactive if you have any questions. If you just want to say hi, and when you drop in, definitely stop and say hi. I will try to say hi to you. I actually have it set up now so I can see your comments on both Facebook and Instagram, which is pretty tricky, I thought. Tonight, I wanted to talk a little bit more about building confidence because oftentimes it is a lack of confidence that holds people back. And you'll find that when you look at a lot of materials, it talks specifically about women, but it's really anybody. I will share examples from my life. Women are not the only people who have problems keeping self confidence. It's just that women are my primary audience. So I talk about things in terms of women. But hi, Tiger. Welcome. Tiger flashed through for an instant on Instagram. Uh, so tonight, the two things that I wanted to pick on are self love and uh, what do they call? What do I call it? Oh, challenging limiting beliefs. So those are our two main topics tonight that I'm going to cover briefly. I have a white paper out there that you are welcome to sign up for my. I don't know why this happens. Every time I get on, I can't talk. If I'm just talking, I can talk to you. I have a white paper on my website. It's right up at the top. There's a banner, just like the banner that's scrolling across the bottom here, that has a link that will let you enter your email address and get my white paper on 10 tips for building confidence. And obviously, I think one of the ways to build confidence is to have boudoir pictures taken. Why do I think that? Well, for one thing, I'm a boudoir photographer. For another thing, as a boudoir photographer, that's been my experience is that my clients, the people that I work with, come out of their session feeling much more confident about themselves as a person, about themselves as a sexual being, as a beautiful person, because I truly believe that all people are beautiful. Um, so, as I said, we're going to cover two topics tonight. I won't say cover. We're going to talk about two topics tonight. The first one is the idea of self love, the idea of taking care of you. A lot of us, and women may fall in this trap more than men, a lot of us fall in the trap of always taking care of others because that's how we're taught. You know, we're brought up to always think about other people. Think about what you can do to help them. Think about what you can do to make their life better. Uh, and it often is not emphasized enough in our own lives that in order to help someone else, we have to stay healthy ourselves. You can't help somebody else if you don't have any energy, or you're constantly angry, or you're constantly afraid, or you're constantly um, not able to take care of yourself. If you're always ill, if you always have a headache, if your back is always a mess. My ex-wife of 30 some odd years uh, worked as an ER doctor, and she worked an incredible number of hours a week. And I don't know how she did it. But one of the tools of doing that was that her back was in knots, just constantly, constantly, constantly. Um, so it's very, very important to learn to take care of ourselves and to love ourselves. Okay. We have to be well enough to help other people. Okay? And a part of that is taking time to stop. Just stop. Stop what you're doing right now. Take a deep breath. Hi, Poppy. I discovered at one point in my many multiple years of therapy that I was always so tense, and I hold my tension right here. I was always so tense, I couldn't breathe. I spent 4 sessions paying a therapist just to learn how to breathe. If I can't breathe, I can't even breathe. How am I supposed to be helpful to other people in the world? So I have to take care of myself. I have to give my body what it needs. Now, obviously, you can tell from my face, I give my body plenty more than what it needs in several areas, chief among them being food. And that's something that I'm starting on my journey again just this week, is eating regularly. Hi, Tori. Um, I put the wrong date. Oh, that's a leftover date from last week. Um, I forget to go through and change on my banners. But I have started an eating program, just trying to get to a reasonable number of calories per day. Okay. And so far, I've made it. There will be days when I don't make it. Part of it, another one of my tips for building confidence is to cut yourself a break. Okay. So I've learned I can't beat myself up over every single thing that I do wrong. And that's part of my self love. You know, I'm worthy. I'm worth taking care of, and I'm worth loving even when I don't do it perfect. Because nobody's perfect. I don't expect you to be perfect. How can I expect me to be perfect? So, taking care of yourself and being in a state of gratitude. I'm going through a situation right now where my mother, yes, my parents are still alive and in their 90s. And my mother had a medical problem almost 2 months ago now, and she's had 3 surgeries, and she's been in the hospital for most of those 2 months, and she hates it, frankly. And she's not well, and she's not happy. And it would be very, very easy for me to get in a state where it's like, oh, my mom's sick. Oh, wow, I'm working too hard at work. Oh, wow, I don't have all of the clients that I would like in my boudoir business. Oh, wow, my life is just so horrible and so awful. But it's not. Okay. I am blessed. I am blessed. My parents are still alive in their 90s. I'm blessed with that. I am still working late in my 60s. I am blessed with that. And the times when I find myself in a bad space mentally and doubting myself and um, feeling like I just can't do it have been the times when I have not been in a state of gratitude. Hey Tori, I've been doing boudoir now for about 2.5 years. I've been a photographer for going on 5 years. I started in landscapes, and I did some portrait work, and I've been working on boudoir for uh, just about 2 years now. Yeah, it was spring 2 years ago. Um, so um, I've had the good fortune to work both in my portraits and in my boudoir to work with Tori. Thank you. Uh, and I I love boudoir. I gotta tell you, I just absolutely love boudoir. Obviously, if I've been a photographer for 5 years, I love photography in general. Um, but it wasn't until I took my first set of boudoir pictures that my brain really lit up, and I really started seeing my subjects and seeing the light and seeing the beauty that was in front of my camera. It was always out there, and I always acknowledged it. I always took great pictures, at least I think so. But that's part of my confidence. Um, but until I started doing boudoir and seeing how I can help people see things in themselves that they don't see, that the skills I have learned as a photographer and the creativity and artistry that I bring from my twisted brain, I guess, um, can help people see themselves a little bit differently. Okay, and that goes back to why, I think one of the confidence builders that I recommend is a boudoir session. I'm saving up my pennies right now to go get mine. And believe me, I am dreading putting my nearly 400-pound, 68-year-old body out there. Um, no, Tori, I never have thought about doing babies. Um, a lot of people do babies. A lot of people love doing babies. Part of my problem is I don't really like babies. I I don't know why. I have nothing against them. I can take them in very small doses, but um, I'm sure I could take baby photos. Um, I've seen the classes. I know the techniques. I know that uh, once you have a posing list, I was. Um, oh yeah, for you, I would be glad to do some baby picture story. But to spend my days with babies, no. But for people that I know, yeah, yeah, let's talk. Um, I'll uh, I've got you in my system, so I'll send you an invite, and we'll book a Zoom call, and we can talk. Okay. Um, yeah, I'd love to do it because I never have really done one, so that would give me a chance to actually see if I want and would enjoy doing babies. The Which brings us to the other topic that I wanted to talk about tonight, which is challenging limiting beliefs. Um, I know for me, possibly. It depends on where on the East Coast and when. I still have my family is more or less on the East Coast. They're upstate New York. So I have family back there, and I'm already planning a trip this summer, but that's a little bit late for baby photography. Usually, for baby photography, you want to get as close to newborns as possible because you want to capture all that magic. Okay, I understand that kids are magic. They're just none of them have ever been my magic. So, um, I'll think about it. I'll think about it, Tori. Tori's asking about 4th of July in North Carolina. Um, my sister lives in North Carolina. Yeah, 4 months is good. 4 months is good. Um, so, as I said, I'll send you an invite and we'll get on a Zoom and talk one on one. But um, to my other point, which was challenging limiting beliefs, I'm trying to say the same words that I have in my giveaway. So that's why I have to keep looking at my notes um, because those were carefully crafted words as opposed to what just comes pouring out of my head. But I find for me personally, one of the big things that gets in my way from being the best that I can be is my own belief systems. I get tied up in thinking things are one way and that's just the way it is. Um, and that doesn't allow me to see options in a lot of things. It doesn't, it can get me backed into a corner. Yeah, because if you don't allow yourself to see exits, then there aren't any exits and you end up backed into a corner. Yeah, I have had to consciously work on my negative self-talk. Uh, there's a book out there, and I don't have a link to it yet, but I'll get it and put it in the notes for this meeting, uh, called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And it's been around for decades now. Um, and I was actively fighting self-help books when I was first introduced to that book. Talk about, you know, getting in your own way. But it talks about how many of us have been told from the time that we were 1 or 2 years old, no, no, you can't do that. No, you're not good enough. No, you're not old enough. No, you're too old. No, you're not pretty enough. No, you've got whiskers. Whatever it was, we keep getting told no. And people don't realize they're doing it to us, but we hear it so much, and our brains believe what they hear, which is good and bad. But they particularly believe what they hear when they hear it from us. So anything that we say to ourselves about ourselves gets triply reinforced. It's like an echo chamber in there. So one of the things that I have had to work with is not reinforcing negative thoughts. Okay. If I find myself saying, Ron, you're stupid. Ron, these things aren't working. Ron, you're just out of shape and broken down and you'll never get better again. I have to actively stop myself and turn those around and reverse that message right then that's going into my brain. Because otherwise, I'm stuck. Okay. Otherwise, I start believing that nonsense and it becomes a limit on myself. Okay. One of the things that I keep considering is when I retire here in a couple of years, is actually moving to Europe. For one thing, it's cheaper to live in Europe than it is to live in California. And there are places in California with European, uh, with California like weather, places in Europe with California like weather. Think, Ron. See, that's the kind of stuff. That was a negative thought. I said what I said. It wasn't right. Let it go. Let it just go off in the universe. I don't need to reinforce that thought. Anyway, there are a lot of nice Mediterranean climates like California in Europe, mostly because they have the real Mediterranean. But my brain keeps jumping up and going, really? Really? You think you can move to Europe at 70 years old? You're going to get mugged. You're going to fall down and hurt yourself. You're going to be lost. You're going to forget the language. You're going to not know what to do. Somebody's going to take advantage of you. You're going to end up in trouble. You're going to get the taxes wrong. You're going to do all of these thoughts. A million reasons why I can't do something rush into my head. And I have to actively stop myself and say, no, that's not the truth. The truth is, I can do whatever I decide and get motivated and learn and go do. We all can. Okay, there's nothing magical about my brain that makes me a good photographer. Okay. Yes, I see things differently than other people. That's because I grew up as me. You grew up as you. I grew up as me. We are different people. But there's nothing special about my brain. That's just the accumulated results of what I've been taught, what I've experienced, and what I've learned. So I really encourage you to go out there, get rid of your negative thoughts, give yourself some self love. Um, if you, and I encourage you to go to the website and download my white paper on building confidence. In there, I have two. Uh, I have that in the white paper. Two of the topics are what we just talked about: self love and challenging your limiting beliefs. And I have some reference material to help you learn more than I could ever teach you. Uh, the first one is from Jen Sincero called You're a Badass. Um, Here, let's shift over to this. Um, and there's a link here. Okay. And I'll put these links in the comments as well. Uh, and I do have a disclaimer, and um, High American Edge films. Ooh, gonna be a movie star. Uh, I do have a disclaimer that these are associate links. Yes, that means I make a few pennies if you buy them through the link. No, that doesn't mean that it costs you anything more than it would if you went to Amazon and looked it up yourself. And no, it did not affect my choice of references. I got the link after in fact, I became an Amazon associate after I had already done the research. Okay. And yes, if you do use my links, I do appreciate it. So if you're interested in learning more about self love and learning how to take care of yourself, um, You're a Badass is a very good reference for that. And if you're interested in um, your limiting beliefs, um, Dr. Carol S. Dweck, I hope that's the way she says it, has a book called Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, that I recommend. And as I said, uh, just good old classic basic what to say when you talk to yourself. I hope I haven't wasted too much of your time. I know that these never waste my time because it's always good for me to hear this stuff out loud, even if it's me saying it, because as I said, my brain believes what I feed it. So, and again, my final recommendation is I think every woman deserves and needs to get a boudoir photo shoot. And you can go on my website. There's a blog post there that will tell you exactly why I think all that. But in the meantime, you be good to yourself, be kind to other people, and become the person that you would like to meet. Peace out.